Right, well, the likelihood is that you'll want to make yourself a cane for twirling while you dance, but perhaps you don't know exactly how to go about this. Well, that's where this video comes in. This is the story of how I made this. Now, why I made this as opposed to buying a cane perhaps deserves some mention. I went on the interweb and I thought, well, there are bound to be canes out there. I'll look on eBay and so forth. And I did a lot of searching and I found that the canes were either extremely expensive antiques, no, or they were really rubbish plastic joke shop magician's tat, no. But I did have some luck and I found this. And I thought, aha, excellent. It was only 22 quid, silver-topped cane, it described itself as. I thought, that'll do me. And then it arrived. And quickly I discovered that no, it really won't do. This is a very stout bit of wood here, which is not very handy for twirling. It's not easy to get your fingers around it. And the big problem is this top, which is actually silver and very heavy. After dancing with some partners, I noticed that they looked somewhat anxious, and it was quite understandable, really. You could give someone a fair clonk with this. This isn't so much a dancer's twirling cane as a gentleman's mace. So you need something considerably less substantial than this. Good for posturing with, not for twirling. So, now how to make one? Well, in one trip, I went down to the local DIY centre and I bought all the stuff I needed. First, of course, you'll need a dowel, a piece of wood. Now, I'm afraid everything was measured in metric there. Yeah, well, there you go. So you may be luckier and get some imperial stuff, but this is a 15mm dowel, which is somewhere about right. And then I got, where are they? Ah, here they are. Then I got various plumbing supplies. You see, these things, and a doorknob. And then I put it all together as follows. Right, first thing you need to do is get a collar. Where did I put the collar? Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is a 15mm straight coupler. And you can buy them in 5s, or at least you can from my DIY supplier. So they look like that. Okay, and if you stick your dowel into the end, you'll find it goes halfway in and stops because there's a little sort of, it's difficult to see, but there's a ridge down the middle of it, and that stops it going any further. So then you can draw around like that and then saw that off, and what you get then is a little cylinder of wood. And then you get a drill. I use just a very simple drill like this, and you drill a hole in the middle of that little bit of wood all the way through, and then you need to countersink it, and to do that I use just an ordinary cheap craft knife. If you're using better wood than I've got, then you may need something a bit heftier. This dowel is some either spruce or pine or something like that. It's not very tough wood. If you can get better, stiffer, stronger wood, I think it's probably worth it. But anyway, so having drilled the hole in the centre of my little cylinder of wood, and you see that I have countersunk it with the knife. The reason I did that is it's going to take the screw. Now then, I bought, as you can see, 100 screws. You need one, but make sure that you get one that is countersunk with the head that comes in like that, so that you can get it flush with the surface, and not the type which has got a domed head, because that'll stick up proud and that won't work. So then, having countersunk it, you've got your little cylinder of wood like that with a hole through the middle of it, countersunk on one side. And then you can get a screw all the way through that into your doorknob. This is a wooden doorknob. This particular one is called Colorado, and it's made out of beech. Ideal for updating cabinets, it says. So then what you've got is the cabinet handle and the little cylinder of wood with the countersunk screw screwed into it, and you can see I've got a little bit of glue there as well, just to hold it even more fastly. And then that's one end of your cane. That can then go into the collar, and I glue that in with Evo Stick impact adhesive, but I'm sure there are other very strong glues that would do the job as well. And then that can be attached to one end of the dowel, and we're over halfway there now. But what to do with the other end of the cane? Well, what I used was something called a fitting reducer. This one is for 15mm to 10mm pipes, and the end result looks like this. But first, because the 15mm is exterior diameter, not interior diameter, I needed to thin this end of the cane a bit. And then I got a little bit of rubber. Now I just happen to have a bit of black rubber that was suited to the task. I'm not entirely sure what you could substitute for it, but you need something to stuff in the end of this. Otherwise you're going to have this sharp end of the cylinder of metal touching the ground every time you touch the floorboards. So you're going to want something to stick out the end there to make sure that's what touches the floor and not the edge of the metal. Then it's just a matter of painting this bit white, this bit black, and then varnishing everything with very, very shiny yacht varnish, and then varnishing it all again because 2 coats are an awful lot stronger than 1. I buffed up the metal with metal polish just before I varnished it, and the varnish will stop it tarnishing. And there you go, a cane for twirling. I dare say you'll probably want to know how to twirl it, but that's another video for another time. Bye! Right, well, now that I've made this video, I've got 2. A black and white one for everyday use, and a beige one